Strategic investing and compound interest growth are not merely financial principles, they are spiritual laws in action, reflecting the unseen order that governs increase in every area of life. Money, like thought, obeys direction. It moves where it is sent, multiplies where it is honored, and remains stagnant where it is feared. When one understands that wealth is not created by force or hurry, but by alignment and wisdom, investing becomes an act of faith guided by intelligence rather than chance. The individual who invests strategically is not gambling with the future but cooperating with an eternal law of expansion that responds to clarity, patience, and purpose. Compound interest is the quiet servant of those who trust time and principle over impulse. It grows without noise, without strain, and without visible effort, proving that the greatest power often works in stillness. Just as a seed planted in fertile soil multiplies while the farmer sleeps, so does invested capital increase when it is placed with understanding and left undisturbed by fear or doubt. Many look for sudden fortune, but the law of growth rewards consistency, not excitement. What is built slowly becomes unshakable, and what is multiplied naturally carries no burden of anxiety. Strategic investing begins in the mind before it appears in the market. One must first invest thought, intention, and belief. Money responds to respect and clarity. It cannot be commanded by desperation. When choices are made calmly, guided by knowledge rather than emotion, the path of increase opens effortlessly. Each wise decision becomes a channel through which abundance flows, and each disciplined action signals readiness to receive more. There is no conflict between faith and planning. Foresight is faith expressed through action. Compound growth teaches the lesson of divine accumulation. Small beginnings are not to be despised, for the law of multiplication magnifies what is consistent. A modest investment, aligned with patience and trust, becomes a powerful force over time. This principle mirrors life itself. Character, skill, and wisdom all compound through repeated right thinking. The person who understands this no longer rushes the process but honors it, knowing that every moment of waiting is also a moment of growth. Strategic investing is therefore an agreement with order. It is choosing structure over chaos, vision over impulse, and long-term harmony over short-term gratification. When money is allowed to grow through lawful channels, it carries no struggle with it. It becomes a servant rather than a master, a tool rather than a trial. The investor who understands compound interest understands life's rhythm. Give time its role, give thought its direction, and give action its discipline. Increase then becomes inevitable, not because of luck or force, but because the law has been faithfully set in motion. Wealth follows direction, not desperation. Wealth follows direction, not desperation. This principle is one of the most important truths to understand when it comes to creating lasting prosperity. Many people believe that wealth is the result of luck, sudden windfalls, or frantic effort, but the reality is that money, like all energy, moves where it is directed. Just as water flows naturally down the path of least resistance, so does wealth follow the clear intentions of those who know how to align themselves with its laws. Desperation, fear, and hurried action scatter energy and repel abundance, while clear, focused direction draws opportunities, resources, and growth into one's life. To truly grasp this concept, one must first recognize that money is not a finite resource to be chased, but an energy to be cooperated with. It is a living force that responds to thought, intention, and belief. When one sets a purpose and acts from a place of calm, informed decision-making, the law of increase works in their favor. Desperation, on the other hand, clouds judgment, weakens confidence, and signals to the universe that one does not trust in the flow of abundance. People who act from fear often make impulsive investments, jump from one opportunity to another, or overspend in ways that create temporary satisfaction but long-term strain. The mind under stress cannot plan effectively, and hurried decisions often lead to losses that might have been avoided with patience and clarity. By contrast, direction brings order. It allows the individual to see where their resources will yield the greatest return and to place themselves strategically in opportunities that align with their skills, knowledge, and vision. This does not mean that the path is always easy or that obstacles will not arise. Life will always test persistence, discernment, and faith. However, when action is taken with clarity rather than panic, Each obstacle becomes a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Strategic direction is rooted in understanding, planning, and alignment with natural laws. Those who succeed financially understand that money is attracted to confidence and preparation. When one knows where they are going and acts with intention, wealth naturally gravitates toward them. Every decision, whether large or small, contributes to this directional flow. Choosing investments, creating businesses, or even managing personal finances becomes an exercise in purposeful action. Desperation, in contrast, leads to distraction, hesitation, or overextension, all of which dilute focus and reduce the capacity to receive increase. Moreover, wealth follows direction because the universe responds to consistent energy. Repetition, discipline, and sustained effort, aligned with a clear goal, amplify results exponentially. The person who steadily invests time, thought, and resources in one direction signals readiness to grow, and the unseen forces of opportunity and expansion respond accordingly. This principle also applies to knowledge and skills. Those who cultivate expertise in a particular field, who focus their attention on mastering one area, often find that opportunities come to them effortlessly. They are recognized, trusted, and sought after because their direction is clear and consistent. Desperation, on the other hand, leads to scattered efforts, jumping from trend to trend, or attempting to chase quick results without foundation. Another aspect of this law is patience. Direction is not always about immediate results, but about steady, faithful progression. The individual who understands that wealth is attracted to clarity does not demand instant success or force outcomes. They understand that each action taken in alignment with their purpose compounds over time. This is where strategic planning and long-term vision intersect. Setting goals, prioritizing, and understanding the rhythm of accumulation allows one to move confidently without panic. Desperation, conversely, often creates a short-term mindset that overlooks the power of gradual growth. It seeks to gain too much too soon, which can lead to risk-taking, stress, and eventual setbacks. By embracing direction, one aligns with the natural laws of increase. Every decision is deliberate, every resource is managed wisely, and every action is purposeful. The energy of wealth is drawn toward such alignment, creating a cycle of attraction and growth that continues to expand as long as the individual maintains focus. Even setbacks, when met with calm and persistence, serve to strengthen understanding and refine direction, making the next steps more precise and effective. This principle is universal and applies to personal finances, business, investments, and even creative endeavors. Success in any area comes not from frantic effort or desperate striving, but from clear intention, careful planning, and unwavering direction. Money multiplies through patience and order. Money multiplies through patience and order. This is a truth that is often overlooked in a world obsessed with speed, instant gratification, and quick fixes. Many people believe that wealth is gained by taking risks without thought, by moving frantically from one opportunity to the next, or by trying to force results through sheer effort. Yet, the law of increase operates not in chaos or haste, but in calm, steady, and deliberate action. Money is like a seed. It does not respond to panic or impatience, but to care, attention, and proper placement. When investments, savings, or resources are managed with order and nurtured with patience, they grow naturally and inevitably. The principle of multiplication relies on creating conditions where growth can occur without interference, allowing time to compound results and opportunity to manifest fully. People who rush, however, often find that their efforts scatter, their resources are depleted, and opportunities pass by unnoticed. The energy of haste and disorder repels the natural expansion of wealth, whereas patience and order create an environment where money can flourish and multiply. True multiplication begins with understanding that money is a form of energy that must be respected and guided. It responds to thought and intention, just as surely as physical laws govern the material world. Each decision, whether it is an investment, a purchase, or a saving strategy, sends a signal to the universe about how one perceives abundance and scarcity. Acting with order means making choices that reflect wisdom rather than fear. It means setting priorities, creating plans, and establishing systems that manage resources efficiently and effectively. Patience allows these systems to work over time. It understands that small, consistent steps produce results far greater than hurried, sporadic efforts. Compounding is the reward of patience, the invisible growth that accumulates silently, yet powerfully, as days, months, and years pass. Many fail to grasp the exponential nature of this principle because they judge results too quickly or abandon their plan in frustration. They overlook the simple fact that wealth cannot be rushed any more than a tree can be forced to bear fruit overnight. Each branch, each root, each leaf develops in its own time, and so it is with money. Order provides the structure for multiplication. Without order, energy leaks, opportunities are wasted, and results remain minimal. Keeping accurate records, maintaining budgets, choosing investments carefully, and aligning expenditures with long-term goals are all manifestations of order. They create a framework within which money can work for the individual instead of being drained by chaos, confusion, or emotional decision-making. Patience reinforces this framework. It allows the individual to wait for the right opportunities, to avoid impulsive decisions that bring temporary satisfaction but long-term consequences, and to trust in the natural process of growth. The person who combines patience with order aligns themselves with universal principles of abundance, signaling readiness to receive more without struggle. There is also a spiritual dimension to this law. Money, when multiplied through patience and order, carries a quality of stability and reliability. It becomes a servant rather than a master, a resource that supports freedom, creativity, and purpose. Those who seek wealth through hurried or reckless means often find themselves bound by stress, anxiety, and loss, demonstrating that the manner of accumulation affects the quality of life it brings. Order and patience are like twin pillars of creation. One provides structure, the other allows time for growth. Together, they ensure that money works quietly, consistently, and effectively, building layers of abundance that expand naturally and continuously. Even challenges and setbacks serve the process when patience and order are maintained, teaching lessons, refining strategies, and strengthening resilience. Ultimately, understanding that money multiplies through patience and order allows the individual to step out of fear-driven activity and into conscious creation, working in harmony with the laws of increase rather than against them. Small, consistent actions create unstoppable growth. Small, consistent actions create unstoppable growth. This principle is one of the most overlooked secrets of lasting prosperity and personal development. Many people believe that success and wealth are the result of dramatic breakthroughs, sudden windfalls, or monumental decisions. Yet, the natural law of increase operates through repeated, steady effort, magnified over time. Just as a river shapes the hardest rock not by force but by persistent flow, so too does consistent action transform small beginnings into extraordinary outcomes. The person who understands this law does not wait for inspiration or dramatic circumstances. They commit to daily practices, small choices, and deliberate habits that align with their goals and vision. These actions, though seemingly minor in isolation, compound in power and effectiveness, building momentum that becomes unstoppable. One of the key aspects of small, consistent actions is our ability to create trust in oneself. When a person takes a deliberate step each day toward their goal, they reinforce discipline, confidence, and faith in their capacity to achieve. This inner trust signals readiness to the universe and invites opportunities that would otherwise remain unseen. Desperation or irregular effort, in contrast, undermines progress. Sporadic bursts of energy without follow-through scatter resources and attention, making it difficult for results to manifest in any meaningful way. By contrast, the individual who applies themselves consistently is like a gardener tending to a growing field, watering, weeding, and nurturing each plant in turn. The growth may not be immediate or dramatic, but it is inevitable. This law applies not only to financial growth, but to all areas of life. Skills, knowledge, relationships, and personal development all respond to steady, focused effort. A person who learns a small portion of a subject each day, practices a craft regularly, or invests consistently in personal growth multiplies their results exponentially. The accumulation of knowledge and ability over time positions them for opportunities that only consistency can create. Another important element of this principle is patience combined with persistence. Small actions alone are not enough if they are not repeated with dedication over time. The power of compounding is active not just in finance, but in effort, thought, and habit. Every positive decision, every act of discipline, and every step taken in alignment with vision adds a layer of strength and momentum. Momentum, once established, becomes self-reinforcing. The individual who maintains small, consistent efforts begins to notice doors opening with less resistance, tasks becoming easier, and opportunities presenting themselves more frequently. This is the natural reward of cumulative effort, a phenomenon often misunderstood by those who seek instant results. People often underestimate the effect of tiny daily choices, dismissing them as too insignificant to matter. Yet, the very essence of unstoppable growth lies in these repeated, faithful acts. The person who reads a little each day, saves a small amount consistently, practices a skill regularly, or invests thoughtfully over time experiences transformations far greater than those who rely on chance or dramatic action. Small, consistent actions also serve to cultivate discipline and resilience. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable in any journey, but when the foundation of steady effort is in place, obstacles are less daunting. The habit of consistency instills confidence, reduces fear, and builds a mindset oriented toward solutions rather than problems. This mindset itself becomes a powerful force in creating growth. There is also a spiritual and psychological dimension to this principle. Repetition, dedication, and daily focus align the mind, heart, and energy with the desired outcome. The act of doing, even in small measures, reinforces belief, clarifies vision, and strengthens alignment with universal laws of increase. It is in the faithful repetition that faith is demonstrated, and faith, in turn, accelerates results. In financial terms, small, consistent investments often outperform sporadic, large, impulsive decisions. When money is directed regularly towards savings, investments, or skill development, the compounding effect creates exponential growth. The key is to avoid waiting for perfect timing, large amounts, or dramatic changes. Progress is created in the steady accumulation of deliberate choices, repeated daily, week after week, year after year. The principle of small, consistent actions emphasizes process over results. The individual who focuses on maintaining momentum, refining approach, and following through with discipline experiences growth that becomes unstoppable because it is built on layers of intentional, faithful effort. Thought and belief precede financial increase. Thought and belief precede financial increase. This principle is one of the most fundamental yet often overlooked truths in the creation of wealth. Many people believe that money comes first, and that thought, intention, or mindset follow afterward. Yet the universal law operates in the opposite order. What is held clearly and persistently in mind manifests in the outer world. Every fortune begins as an idea, every investment begins as a plan, and every act of financial growth begins with belief in possibility. Thought is the seed, and belief is the soil in which that seed grows. Without clear thinking, vision, and faith, even the most promising opportunities are wasted or go unrecognized. The mind is the directing force behind all increase, and it operates constantly whether we are aware of it or not. Those who focus on lack, fear, or limitation unconsciously repel opportunities and create conditions of scarcity, while those who hold clear, positive, and faithful thoughts attract resources, people, and circumstances that align with their vision. Financial increase is not random, it responds to conscious mental direction. The person who cultivates wealth understands the importance of aligning thought and belief with action. Thoughts without action remain dormant, yet action without mental clarity and belief often dissipates effort and leads to frustration. Together, they form a partnership. The mind directs, belief energizes, and action manifests. Clarity of thought is essential. When one knows exactly what they desire, sets a purpose, and maintains mental focus, the universe responds. This requires not only imagination but also the courage to hold a vision despite temporary conditions or contrary appearances. Doubt and confusion scatter energy and slow progress, while decisiveness and certainty accelerate results. Belief, in this sense, is not mere hope. It is trust in the process, confidence in one's capacity, and acceptance of the natural law that what is sown in the mind will appear in the material world. Belief transforms thought into expectation, and expectation acts as a magnetic force, drawing resources and opportunities toward fulfillment. Those who understand this law practice mental discipline, guarding against negative thoughts and doubts, and reinforcing faith with affirmations, visualization, and repeated focus. This daily mental practice prepares the subconscious mind to recognize solutions, make wise decisions, and act in alignment with opportunities as they arise. Many fail to experience financial growth because they underestimate the power of the mind and overestimate the importance of external conditions. Markets fluctuate, opportunities appear and disappear, yet the individual with focused thought and unwavering belief continues to advance steadily. They are not tossed by circumstances but guided by inner clarity. Action, of course, is still necessary. Thought and belief without follow-through do not result in material increase, but the quality of action is shaped by the preceding mental state. Decisions made in clarity, courage, and expectation produce far better results than frantic, reactive, or fear-driven efforts. The alignment of thought, belief, and action creates a harmonious flow in which money moves toward readiness, and opportunities reveal themselves naturally. Furthermore, thought and belief act as filters for perception. They determine what the individual notices, pursues, and values. Someone who cultivates a mindset of abundance sees possibilities where others see obstacles. They recognize opportunities that would otherwise go unnoticed and are able to act decisively when circumstances align. Belief also nurtures resilience. When challenges arise, the individual who trusts in their vision does not give up but adapts, learns, and continues. Temporary setbacks are understood as part of the process, not signs of permanent failure. Financial increase is, therefore, a reflection of inner alignment. A mind full of clarity, focus, and faith attracts not only money but the right opportunities, the right people, and the right timing. It creates an environment in which wealth can grow organically, without strain, panic, or desperation. Small, consistent reinforcement of thought and belief compounds over time, creating powerful momentum that makes financial growth inevitable. This principle also emphasizes the responsibility of self-mastery. By cultivating awareness of one's thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns, the individual gains control over the conditions of their life. They no longer wait for luck, circumstance, or external validation, but consciously create the framework in which abundance flourishes. The alignment of thought, belief, and action is, therefore, not simply a strategy for financial increase, but a principle for conscious living, teaching that inner states precede and shape outer results, and that mastery over the mind is mastery over destiny. Time is the silent partner in all true wealth. Time is the silent partner in all true wealth. Many people overlook the profound role that time plays in the creation of financial abundance, focusing instead on immediate results, quick profits, or sudden windfalls. Yet, the law of increase demonstrates repeatedly that wealth, like all growth, requires time to mature, to compound, and to reveal its full potential. Time works quietly and steadily, bringing the rewards of patience, consistency, and faith. Those who understand this principle do not attempt to force results, nor do they succumb to impatience or panic. They recognize that each investment, decision, and effort made today carries with it the potential to multiply as it interacts with the passing days, weeks, months, and years. The universe has a rhythm, a natural unfolding in which opportunity, preparation, and reward align perfectly when the proper conditions are met. Attempting to rush this process often leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and unnecessary struggle, while honoring the role of time allows growth to occur effortlessly and powerfully. Time amplifies the effects of careful planning, strategic action, and disciplined effort. Just as a tree requires seasons to mature and bear fruit, so too does wealth require repeated action, guided intention, and the patience to allow results to unfold naturally. Those who plant seeds of effort, investment, and knowledge consistently over time experience compounding benefits that far exceed what could be gained through rough, hurried, or sporadic activity. Time is also a teacher, revealing patterns, lessons, and opportunities that cannot be perceived in a single moment. The investor, entrepreneur, or creator who works with time rather than against it learns to anticipate, adapt, and respond with wisdom. They gain insight from repeated observation, from watching trends develop, and from allowing the consequences of earlier actions to inform future choices. Impatience, on the other hand, blinds the mind, creating a sense of urgency that often leads to errors. poor decisions, and wasted resources. Understanding time as a partner transforms the way one approaches money, work, and life. It shifts focus from instant gratification to long-term vision, from reaction to preparation, from fear to faith. The individual who collaborates with time recognizes that every step taken today contributes to a larger accumulation tomorrow. Small, repeated actions, guided by knowledge and purpose, gain strength as they are allowed to unfold through the natural process of compounding. Time also works as a filter, allowing the value of ideas, investments, and strategies to be tested and proven. Short-term results are not always accurate indicators of potential. The opportunity that seems slow to produce results today may become the most fruitful tomorrow, while impulsive choices made without regard for timing often lead to loss and regret. Patience and trust in time enable the individual to see beyond immediate appearances, to maintain faith in the underlying process of growth, and to act strategically in alignment with long-term objectives. Another essential aspect of time is its ability to magnify consistency. Repeated, deliberate actions accumulate silently but powerfully, creating momentum that becomes unstoppable. Just as compounding interest increases wealth exponentially, so does consistent effort increase capability, knowledge, and opportunity. Those who honor time do not rely on luck or chance. They rely on the predictable effect of repeated, disciplined effort, compounded over months and years. Time also strengthens character and resilience. The journey toward wealth is rarely without challenges, setbacks, or delays. Those who understand the role of time are better able to endure difficulties, adapt strategies, and maintain faith in the process. They recognize that every delay or challenge is temporary, and that perseverance aligned with purpose is far more valuable than hurried action born of fear. Furthermore, time enhances clarity and discernment. As experience accumulates, as lessons are learned, and as decisions are observed for their results, the individual develops wisdom that cannot be rushed. This wisdom informs future choices, allowing for more effective action and better alignment with opportunity. Impatience undermines this process, leading to repeated errors and frustration, while respect for time deepens understanding and strengthens judgment. The principle of Tim E as a partner also teaches the value of delayed gratification. Those who can wait, who can continue to invest, save, and act strategically without immediate reward, position themselves for far greater returns in the future. This is true not only in financial matters, but in skill development, business growth, and personal mastery. Time rewards those who remain faithful to process, who honor order, consistency, and patience. Every decision made with foresight, every action repeated with discipline, and every resource wisely applied gains added power as time works in harmony with effort. The cumulative effect of time is exponential, turning small beginnings into substantial outcomes, ordinary actions into extraordinary results, and consistent effort into unstoppable momentum. In this way, time is not a passive element, but an active, silent partner, amplifying the effects of wisdom, patience, and strategic action, ensuring that growth, when properly aligned, is inevitable and enduring.